Okay, so let's do Things to Come, which is the new film by Mia Hansen-Løve, who made, Father of My Children, Goodbye First Love, Eden. And it stars Isabelle Huppert. Isabelle Huppert plays a philosophy teacher who is married. She has good children who are sort of grown up. When we first meet them, the film skips over different time periods, and they grow up during the course of the film. And essentially, it's a film about somebody whose life is defined by their ideas and their thought process and their aspirations, perhaps more than their circumstances. We see her in Paris crossing a picket line in order to get in to teach her students, and then there's a sort of quite friendly domestic arguments about, oh, look at you, you used to be a communist and now you've changed. And she says to her husband, yeah, but you haven't changed since the age of 18. And then what she discovers is that, in fact, whilst politics and philosophy are inconstant and unknowable, so indeed is love. And at a strange point in her life, she finds that the things that she had expected to be constant are no longer constant. I loved this film, and I loved it for a number of reasons. The first one is that Isabelle Huppert's central performance is absolutely brilliant. She is an actor who inhabits a role like no other. It's hard to think of a more commanding screen presence. She is somebody who makes every character, she became famous for playing characters in Extremis, but here what she's doing is underplaying, playing something which is warm and wry, but also has a sense of sadness and tragedy. When you see her on screen, you absolutely believe in that character. The second thing is, it's wonderful to see a film about a woman whose life is defined by her profession, by her mind, by her ideas, and not defined by domestic circumstances and by trite romantic solutions and by imagining that everybody's life actually should be organized around certain key relationships. What you get is something which is absolutely unapologetically discursive. It talks about radicalism and revolution and philosophy, and in a way that is not very popular in mainstream cinema, but is actually done very lightly, so that for all the film's discursive qualities, the director used a mother as a sort of as a role model. For all those discursive qualities, the film never feels like it's being overly preachy or overly talkative. What it feels like is that it's engaging. All the way through the film, the central character that she plays, Natalie, is on the move. The camera is constantly having to catch up with her. Even when she's in what looks like a single room setting, she will be moving from place to place, always constantly on the go. And what this creates is a sense of a character who is involved in an arc which is not to do with starting somewhere, going through crisis and ending up somewhere, but is to do with an ongoing flow of life. So in a way, what this film does is to take a situation, the unexpected mid to late life change in circumstances, but not treat it in the way that sort of mainstream saccharine movies would do, but to treat it as your life is changing, the future is changing, the future is unwritten. How do we grasp this? How do we deal with it? Very, very interesting use of song. There's an awful lot of silence in the film, and the construction of its soundtrack is very specific in its use of song. In terms of the way it looks, it occasionally looks sort of rather loose-limbed, but actually has much more of a sort of an orchestrated visual structure.
Sorry, what?
Well, if you say something sort of loose-limbed camera work, well, yes, so the camera is it's free and flowing, but not. Okay, so what's the best way of describing this? Imagine the classic Stanley Kubrick shot on a tripod looking down a corridor, which everything is very geometrical and blah, blah, well, the opposite of that. And yet actually what's happening with this film is that it's much more choreographed than at first it would seem. So for me, I thought it was really a really terrific piece of work, a drama about a character that you believe in with circumstances that seem utterly real and tangible and involve you both emotionally and intellectually. Absolutely central to that, Isabelle Huppert's performance, sensitively and intelligently written and directed, and I literally just sat there and thought, this is great. This is what I want cinema to be doing, and I really, really liked it. And it's called Things to Come at L'Avenir is the original title, but it's called Things to Come, and do seek it out because it's absolutely terrific.